Husband is here. Alright, looks like all the audio is good. Is the music okay, or should it be lower or higher? Cool. Alright, good. Alright, let me make sure all my setup stuff is good. Okay. Yep. Okay, good. Yep. Alright, looks like everything's good. Hello, everyone. Happy Monday. I hope everybody's weekend was good. I had a great weekend, actually. This weekend was fantastic. Lots of gaming, lots of pretend, like I always want. Yeah, it was a good weekend. Whoa, oh god, this chair's trying to kill me. Shame that I didn't sleep well last night, so, I beg for your forgiveness for, potentially being a little low energy today. Just tossing and turning, waking up over and over again, for no discernible reason that I could figure, but hopefully tonight will be better. Um, so yeah, me and husband got to meet up with our longtime gaming groups, a group with our VTM World of Darkness campaign, and after almost 6 months of going without because lots of things. Let's just say that much. Lots of annoying life stuff deciding to happen, kind of all in one row. So that was a lot for everybody to kind of mesh schedules and make that work. So that was great. It was a great little return uh, to a schedule that I miss very much. Then me and husband were able to play a little bit of D&D last night. Still working through Dungeon of the Mad Mage. Just very light kind of approach to the dungeon. So that was fun. Nice way to end the night, end the weekend. Yeah, otherwise it's Tangent Turner. I am. Welcome in. I am streaming again. Thank you for the follow, Tangent. I appreciate it. Enjoy. Oh, that's right. I also should mention I have emotes now. So I'll get through the business side of things. If you saw the Discord, you can see if you'd like to visit Turner or Tangent, whichever you would prefer. You can go ahead and join up over there. We talk about any creative thing that you may be working on. It doesn't have to be world building. It could be art. It could be, poetry or videos. Whatever you're working on, we want to see it, and we want to talk about it, and we want to see you talk about it. So please do join us. As you guys probably saw, most of you probably saw on the Discord, I have my first kind of sponsor thing. It's not a direct sponsor in that I am not receiving money for this immediately. I applied because this little game called Kinder World or Kinder World. I really don't know. The first time I read it, I thought it was Kinder World, but I think it's meant to be Kinder World. Um, it's a great little mental health little app that I enjoy. It's totally free. There's like some things that you can buy in the app, but they don't lock you out of features to get your money. They actually, and the art is adorable. Hang on, I'm waiting for it to come up. But yeah, I've been playing this game for like maybe more than a year, maybe 2 years now at this point. I don't know. But you just take care of a little plant, and then you unlock decorations for your little house and rooms to decorate, and the art is adorable. Their mascot is their dog named Sammy, who's a whatchamacallit. Oh, what's that dog called? Wait, hang on. What are the cloud dogs called? What are they actually called? I have Malinois. Samoyed, thank you. Thank you, Cloud Dog, yes. I just call them Cloud Dog. Samoyed. It's the developer's actual dog, or it's modeled after their actual dog. And Sammy's very, very cute. Why can't I see my own emojis? What the hell? Or my emotes, whatever. Make it go. How do I... I don't do this often from this end, so I don't see everything. Oh, I think... Oh my god, the way they pop out the chat is annoying. I have to... Where is my things? Channel. Oh, there we go. Okay. Oh, I don't have the one over here. Okay, that's fine. That's over on the Discord then. But, anyway, I literally downloaded the app the first time because I saw there was plants and there was a cute dog. And that was enough for me. So, but yeah, there is a special download code that I have right there. If you would like to check it out, I get, basically how it works is that I get $1 for every unique download attributed to that link, and I don't get a payout until I get to 25. So I'm literally not doing this to get that to that 25. I'm doing it because I like the app and I play it myself, and I don't have any friends in it. There's a friendship garden in it, and I don't have any flowers for my friends in my friendship garden, and I want flowers. Literally, that's so if you wanna check it out, please do. Just to check it. You don't, I mean, no pressure, of course. That's the opposite of the point of that app. And they're very forgiving if you just kind of get bored with it and take some time off. It doesn't punish you. It doesn't kill your plant. It doesn't take away stuff that you've earned. I've taken months in between sometimes just because busy or whatever, and yeah, it's just coming right back, water in your plant once and everything's fine. That's all you need to do. And it's still an alpha technically, so they need more players to kind of test all these ideas, and they're testing all this cool stuff out, so it's fun. But yeah, please, if you feel so inclined, check it out. See if you like it. If you don't, that's okay. But I like it, so I figured that was a fun first kind of dipping my toe into sponsorship and checking out stuff that because, you know, Stream Elements, I used to have that app, cute and fun. Yeah, and I like the music, and yeah, the art, the art is so cute. But we have them to thank for a lot of our new emotes over in Discord and in the channel. So have fun with those. I might switch them around depending. I have some options, and I only have a limited amount of emotes because it's based on the amount of subs and stuff I get. So as we get more people coming into the channel, we'll get more options for more emotes, and we'll add more and more as we go. So yeah, there's that business taken care of. So this week is a lead up to and thumbs, yes, thumbs. Thanks to Eekster for the thumbs emote. That's our actually, but that's our thumbs. That's our emote. Thanks to Eekster who designed it, which I am overjoyed at. I tried to upload the cat one, but they are not the right size, so I'll have to futz with that. Because it requires it to be square, and I tried to resize it, but it like squished them, so I'll figure it out. But yeah, so yeah, we have emotes now. Thank you to Kinder World for your cool little app and allowing me to spread the word, I guess, and the cool things that you gave me to do that. I can send that to you. Okay, cool. Yeah, absolutely. If you have the time, whenever. No pressure and no rush. Yeah, so we're in a lead up week to session 2 on Saturday. If all goes well and schedules work out, we will see. But I assume so. So yeah, basically what's gonna happen today, since I'm a little low energy and low mental energy, I should specifically say, I'm not going to do a lot of game prep specific to the game itself. We'll probably just kind of chat and see where everybody's out at and cool stuff that people want to chat about, and maybe some light world building in between. But Wednesday we'll do a little bit more specific world building. Either I can continue with the gods, or I wish I could figure out that map, man. And just the ability to like cut things off and stuff. I do have a program, a free image editing program called GIMP, GIMP. And there's also DaVinci, which I think is also a image editing app. I have no idea how to use either of these things, so maybe I'll futz around with those later today or tomorrow, see what I can figure out, and try to edit the map in some way that makes sense. I don't know, but I do want to improve upon the map as I go, but that is very outside of my knowledge. So it'll definitely be a learning curve, and I will not subject you guys to watching me struggle how to figure out how to use, Photoshop Lite, basically. um, so, yeah, and then... So that's World Building Wednesday, yay. And then Friday will be a super spoilery stream as I, set up final things that I need to know for the game, design maybe some quests or NPCs or locations or what have you, any number of things. So yeah, that's the plan at this point. And so yeah. Last we were working on the templates for the gods. That was, which I still need to finish. But again, I don't think it was very entertaining to watch, so I'll probably do that off stream when I'm feeling a little bit more inclined. Again, I am sorry for my low energy today. It was definitely a rough night last night. Just unable to sleep, and I don't know why. So. Let's see. So if I'm gonna avoid spoilers for today, basically, because we've got time for setup and stuff, so I'm not too worried about getting everything down solidly just yet. We were talking about mounts before, specific animals and stuff in the world, which was fun, because we figured out the livestock of the world, more or less. Although we did say that there's insects that serve as the main protein, aside from plant-based protein in this world, just because, if in a world that's so plentiful in regards to plant life, you really don't have to eat meat nearly as much. And like people know how to forage and stuff like that. There's mushrooms and all that kind of stuff, and so mounts could be another fun thought exercise. Hang on, and let me get this over here. Let's see. So if you haven't been able to tell, I enjoy me a dragon. I enjoy any reason to have dragons in my setting. The first session I had a fairy dragon greet the party and deliver a message, which was super fun. Oh my god, it's a capybara mount. Oh no, I want one. That's very cute. Capybaras are adorable, but yeah, and then we were talking about, because the map is got a lot of water, we need some sort of there we go, aquatic creature to carry people to and fro in these kind of like canals and stuff like that. There's definitely bridges and stuff, but yeah, there is a lot of water depending on where you're going. Again, I don't have access to the path tool. That would be extremely useful at this point, but what are you gonna do? So yeah, places like, this big long stretch of water and stuff like that, it's just easier to have fairies or some sort of creature. Well taken care of creature. Fantasy aquatic creature. There we go. It's always fun to do a dragon of some sort. But Snake mentioned. Yeah, that's true. Yes, yeah, I specifically named it the Diamondback Desert for you. Because I knew you would appreciate that. And Diamondbacks are cool, terrifying big boy snakes. There's a lionfish, but he actually looks like a lion. I love that. Aw, he's so cute. Growing up, I had a doctor's office. I think it was my mom's doctor's office that I'd found myself in, and they actually had a lionfish in their aquarium, and I was fucking obsessed with that thing. I love lionfish. So cool. Oh, kelpies are a good one. If you don't know, the hippocampus and that stuff, or hippocamp, not hippocampus. That's something in your brain. Kelpies are Gaelic mythology, Scottish, excuse me, water horses, and they like to eat people and drown them and stuff, but we could make them nice. Oh, look at this art! Oh my god. Hang on, this person. Oh, look at a Fey horse. This is so cute. Do I have a source? Do I have an artist, please? Hope Christofferson, excuse me. What a dope-ass style. Look at the fairy! Wow. That reminds me of these old books that I have of, like, you know, the science of fairies, and it was actually made up to look as if some sort of, like, scientist was out just, like, studying fairies and stuff. These are fucking adorable. Awesome. But yeah, like, kelpies could be, like, your single person, like how you would rent a horse to go somewhere. You could do the same with a kelpie if you're going across water. That would be fun. Hang on. So let's do a kelpie, because just as an idea, because I enjoy it. And oh, that's very pretty too. Wow. Sea harpy, fucking Witcher shit. Oh my god, if you've ever played Witcher 3, you know exactly the annoyance of the sirens, but they were basically harpies, and they were the worst. They sucked so bad. Jellyfish are always fun too. Like in what is it called? Finding Nemo, when they bounce across the tops of them. Like, something like that, but that seems mean to the jellyfish, so we probably won't do that. Big ass crab, always good. Imagine Nubia trying to mount a kelpie. Yeah, you might need something a little bigger. Big ass turtle is always good too. Big whales are gonna, yeah. I have a thing. I have a fear of whales, and I know it's stupid. I blame Monstro from Pinocchio, because that shit scared the shit out of me when I was a kid. Yeah, just hilarious mental, just this soaked lion just trying so hard to stay attached as this thing is just, like, blasting through the water. It's not that terrifying. You're the first person, like, literally in my life that didn't laugh at me for being afraid of whales. Whales scare the shit out of me. They're too big, and they can stay in the water. I'm good. I don't like the water anyway. I don't like the fact that a whale, or something the size of a whale, can just sneak up on you. I don't like it. You turn around and that thing's right here, and you didn't... Too damn big for a fish. Well, it's a mammal. But, you know, still, they're like, oh, but they're so gentle, and da-da. Yeah, that's not the point. They don't realize how much fucking strength they have if their tail comes down and destroys your boat and crushes your fucking body. Okay, anyway. Plus, there was a guy like a year ago that actually got halfway swallowed by a whale, and I was finally vindicated in my fear, because everybody's like, it'll never happen, they won't eat people, you're too big. I'm like, yeah, but he got his body crushed by this fucking thing's mouth. That's what I'm afraid of. I'm not afraid of being swallowed and digested. I'm afraid of being broken and left to float and drown. That's the scary part. Y'all don't know what you're talking about. Ugh. They're so scary. Oh, manta rays too. Big ass manta rays. Okay. Wasn't that something in some sci-fi movie? Was it Star Wars? So you move into open ocean to find whales to be scared of? No! They're part of the reason why I avoid the ocean. Man, I live in fucking Florida. I'm surrounded by that shit, and I avoid it. I hate it. I'm not a fan of water in general. Are you the person I was trolling in that other channel about having to type 500 words or the whale would get you? I don't think so. I don't recall that. Whales would not go near beaches. That's still... I don't like the beach either. I'm not a sun person, if you can't tell. Uh, yeah, no, then I've met two people this week who have issues with whales. Much worse thing at the beach. I will avoid the beach. That's fine. Great. Beach is just a bad sensory experience. Yeah, also, yeah, all that too. Just the smell of it, the sand, sun. Ugh. I hate the beach. I hate pools. I'm not meant to live in Florida, man. I really am not. I would love to, like, whale watch from the shore and, like, watching them way the fuck over there. That would be cool. I'm fine with that. And I know blue whales, and they're beautiful and cool, and, you know, seeing them breach is very cool, but, like, going up, like, on a boat, like those tourists do, and, like, just going out and, like... You went on a whale watching tour? Oh, God. Just, like, it could just come up and just decide to destroy your boat. I'm not... Ugh. Oh, my God. I know they don't mean to, and I'm not blaming the whale. But, like... Oh, you saw a breach. Oh, God. No, no, no. No. From the shore. Like I said, I'd be totally fine if I was from the shore and whales were way the fuck out there. They were pretty far away. Okay, but still. I wouldn't be in the water. Ugh. Sharks don't scare me nearly as much as whales do. Is that the fucking craziest thing you've ever heard? I don't know what's wrong with me. I blame Monstro, like you see. Like I said. I was also very sick. Oh, that's not great. Jaws never bothered me. I was never afraid of sharks. I think I'd go into a shark cage before I went into seasickness. That's the other thing, is I think I would get seasick. It's been so long since I've been on a boat. I used to go on the boat all the time with my family when I was a kid. Yeah, sharks are cool. Yeah, when I was a kid, we had a pontoon boat that we'd go out pretty much every weekend, and I'd fall asleep on that bitch, and I'd love it, but I get carsick now, so I'm gonna guess a boat is not gonna be my thing now, so I don't want to chance that either. I'm not a fan of boats, I'm not a fan of the open ocean, I'm not a fan of beaches, so all that shit, I'm good. Oh, this is a pretty dragon. Aww, it's got like bubbles. Oh, it's very pretty. Oh my god, look at the rose dragon! Oh my god, I love the internet. I love when the internet makes cool dragons. Oh my god, like, look at this fucking nightmare thalassic behemoth. Ooh. Orchid mantis. Yes, I love orchid mantis. That, I actually am getting sweaty palms just looking at that. Ooh, god. No. Why would you put the fucking crab claws on it? It don't need fucking crab claws. Ugh. Oh, yuck. Ugh. Okay. So there's definitely a lot of dragons available. I'm thinking like a big-ass manta ray. Was it something in, like, Little Mermaid where there was, like, a chariot pulled by... Well, it was pulled by dolphins, but there should have been one pulled by manta rays, because that would be cooler. Ooh, golden narwhal. Narwhals are cool, too. Those are cool... Have you ever seen the way they sleep? Oh, I'm getting shivers. They sleep just, like, completely vertical, and they just float there. Ooh, is that not the craziest thing? Ooh, it's so creepy. There's also, like, flying fish, which could be cool. Yeah, look up, I think it's narwhals, or maybe it's sperm whales. One of the two, but they sleep just vertical. It's like, they look like gravestones, like, in the ocean. Just float. Ooh. No. Oh, this is a cute little guy. Okay, ad break starts in 5. Hee hee, look at you! Oh, you're cool. I like his double eyes. Thanks to Quentin I don't know how to say that. Quentin. Good job. I love this. This is very cool. They kind of look like baby kaiju from Pacific Rim. I can see that being a baby kaiju. Oh, this thing's cool too. So yeah, I'm thinking something like a manta, just because I love manta rays. They're very cool. C-flat flaps, I love them. And stingrays, of course. I think it's sperm whales. Oh, okay, sperm whales then. It didn't like the word sperm. Oh my god, this fucking app. Whatever. Yes, okay, either way. But, I don't... It's just... We didn't name the goddamn thing. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Oh, look how cute he is. Oh, no. Oh, look at you. This is... Oh, no. I want all of them in my world. Oh. So yeah, it would definitely be, not necessarily, like, using them as a bridge. There will be bridges, big ones too, in certain parts, just because it'd be easier than ferrying people back and forth. But if like having something kind of like this, oh no, he's very cute, that like pulls ferries rather than just a boat, I think is more. It's more fun and it's cuter, and like who doesn't love a weird little guy who pulls a ferry? Sea puppy, exactly. So I'm gonna save him because he's silly. I love this cat so much. This fucking sassy cat. I come across this picture every so often, and he's so good. This is the attitude of every cat that you meet. Every single cat. Even the dumb ones. Yeah, I think I'm gonna keep the capybara friend as well. He'd be like something in the desert. Well, isn't that the opposite for capybaras? They're like water jungle dwellers, I think. Whoa, armored capybara. That looks like cardboard. I know it's not, but it's cute. Is he a robo capybara? That's very good. Oh, well, whoever did that has deleted it. A Takibara, somebody says. That's very good. Oh, now I'm getting Pokemon. Speaking of sea puppies. Maria Zwanskaya. Skaya. Land sharks. Oh, no, they're so cute. Look at this little guy! Look at that little face! I'm gonna die. They're so cute. Oh, I want one. Oh my god. Give it to me. This one looks like a Rottweiler. I love him. Oh my god. And they're also humanoid? You gotta... Are they dogs or are they humanoids? I don't understand. Interesting. They look like the Digimon evolution, where they go from quadrupedal to bipedal. Very good. Gonna keep that too. I just want weird pets and weird creatures for Galdor. That's all I want. I love the white buffalo. That's a great idea. Grizzly bears. New Tumblr sexy man unlocked too, right? Chocobos are always a possibility. Look at this cute little spooter. Oh, jumping spiders would be dope ass fucking mounts as well. Oh my goodness. Very cute. But only if you're going vertical. Like, only if you're going up. Chocobos are always fun. Everybody loves a good chocobo. Quark. Ooh, something like this is very cool. This is like a dog lizard. Have not thought of that in a long time. What, chocobos? I love chocobos. Alright, I'm gonna take a break. I think there's an ad, I don't know, but I'm gonna take a break and go to the bathroom real quick anyway. So I will be right back. Lucas the Spider! Yes, I love him. Alright, be right back. Okay, we're back. But yes, Lucas the Spider is very good. Uh, so yeah, mounts are always cool to think about, and of course they would be regional and potentially cultural based as well. So it could be different things. Like we could have basically the equivalent of the horse of our world versus the camel versus the donkey or mule. Like there's a couple different ways we could go. So it would be like choosing the main couple depending on region. Hey Steinman, welcome in. Welcome in. How was your weekend, my friend? Hope it was well and you got to play some pretend or at least create something fun. Look at this little mushroom spooter. He's got a little water drop on his head. Oh god. Okay, I gotta stop looking at cute spiders. World building. There's I might need a little. Just got to see my potential apartment today. Oh, cool. Move-in time almost. Close. That's cool. That's exciting. Hopefully it's a nice place. Hang on a second. I have a document that I might need to reference. Is it on my... I think it's on my actual... Okay, 2 seconds, 2 seconds. Oh, those are the emotes that I've been working on. Again, anyone that wasn't in the Discord this morning, we got emotes now over there, and some in the chat if you want to check them out. So, super fun. Very excited. What? Where's my stuff? Hang on. I had... Maybe it's... I don't remember where I saved it. That's okay. No big deal. Anyway. Yay. Oh, or some... I am stressed about having to downgrade to studio size. Oh, well, you know. Um, yeah, downgrading seems to be seems to be where a lot of people are going nowadays. Um, Unfortunately, because of in this economy. But like, there's a lot of people that can do a lot with with a smaller space. So don't worry too much about it. I'm sure you'll find comfort in it and home in it without too much problem. You just got to get a little bit creative with your space and what you do with it, basically. I have to fake I'm a student in order to be in a comfortable place. Ugh. I have been very blessed in my past in regards to housing. Hi, Thumbs. Thumbs making an appearance. Psst, psst. Say hi. Say hi. um, yes, Thumbs. He's here. He's here sniffing around for food. 2 hours earlier than he's supposed to get it. But he thinks he's supposed to get fed every 5 minutes, apparently. There you go. But yeah, the housing, the stuff with housing is fucking... Somewhere in Copenhagen they have my name on a list, but they have never met me. Wow, that's a... Wow. Pomerantulas? Oh my god. Alright, I'm gonna end up putting every cute possible thing into Galdor. I gotta, here we go. This is what I need. He's very good. Where'd he go? Oh, I lost him. There he is. Oh my god. Look at that little face. Like, how could you say no to that? Doesn't matter how many eyes or legs it has, it's still cute. I would totally be here for that. Alright, so I need a little help today. I'm a little low energy today, if you weren't here earlier. I didn't sleep amazingly well, so the ideas are not bouncing off my head. So I need a little help. So I've got these prompts here that I've saved for myself. Ah! Asher! Asher's trying to eat my plant. Sorry. Murder. Stop. Sorry, he's trying to eat my pothos, and I do not need that in my life. Hang on. Gonna move this. Oh, he would have knocked over some of Daddy's minis, too, if he would have kept going. Alright, we're good. Sorry about that. We're good. I'm a fountain of ideas. Throw me prompts. Yeah, I need help. My brain is not here today. Criminal. Absolutely a criminal. Let's see. What shall we talk about? Plants are fun, animals and creatures. We were kind of on that before, but nothing was immediately coming to me. So let's see. What do I do? Asperger's and ADHD benefits. I only got the ADHD part of it, I think. So far that I can pretty much know what I'm going with. So monuments, government buildings, houses, apartments, restrictions on travel, not gonna worry about that. Building materials is interesting. Not gonna worry too much about diseases again, because this is a fantasy world, and that does not sound like a game I want to play too much in. We got a bit of the money system. It's, you know, basic, you know, D&D economy, which isn't really an economy at all, but it's got, you know, your gold, your silver, and your copper. That's what you got there. So, clothing, food. Talked a bit about food and stuff. Professional sports. That's an interesting thought. Like, it's very easy to... somebody who... I don't remember who it was, but somebody, brought up, potentially having, like, a, Olympic-type, celebration. It's not just these, it's just us lucky folks who get a bit too many colorful fluids in our brains. That's what it feels like. Just glitter sticking up the works. So entertainment, right? Entertainment's always a fun thing to think about, because especially in a society that doesn't necessarily center itself entirely around huge cities. She was reading off the well, yeah. No, not a disease. No, yeah, I was reading the list here. Sorry, uh, but so I mean, if you look back on old video games, if you ever played Final Fantasy ten, yeah, uh, where they had Blitzball, which was, water soccer, basically. Water, rugby, soccer, a little bit of that. And everybody was fucking into it, even though the minigame was the most boring thing in existence. At least to me. I don't know. Oh god, I sucked at that. But anyway, so thinking of, and you have Quidditch in Harry Potter, and you have, these it's an easy way to world build and to kind of set things apart from the world that you're used to, the world that you live in. Um, and fantasy games love. I didn't finish that game because of it. Yeah, I think that's a lot of people. There was a cheat where you could if you the spider dog webs are climbable. There's a sport where you have to race them. I don't. I haven't decided on the spider dogs yet. I just saw them and I went, oh, and maybe. I don't know. But yeah, that Blitzball game was rough. Hayagami, by the way. Um, you had to cheat it where you got one point. If As long as you got 1 point and you went and hid behind the goalie, I think on your side, then time would run out and they wouldn't be able to get you, basically, because there was like an invisible wall to all the other ones that couldn't reach the goalie or something like that. It was really funny. I remember doing that, and just like you get behind him and you just walk away from the TV and wait the 10 minutes or whatever it is. So... Oh, and Eekster brought up some musical styles as well, hilariously, which, a creator... What was his name? Hang on. There was a creator... What was his name? Did you message that to me directly, Eek? I can't remember. Or was that in the channel? I think it was in the channel. I'll have to find it. That's fine. Here we go. Alright, I will... It was in the channel. Okay, I will find it later, and I will go from there. But, yeah, and there's this guy that, does, I've been here lurking, I'm working on Spall's business stuff, but I'm listening. Oh, well, you're more than welcome to lurk. I'm glad to see you here either way. But, yeah, so thinking of music and sports and things that we look at as kind of our everyday entertainment experience. I'm always tempted, again, I'm trying not to push the technology of this world too far ahead. So we're not at the point where we have radio or anything like that. We actually just introduced radio into our other game where me and Stefan are playing um, uh, Dungeon of the Mad Mage, and it was just introduced into Waterdeep, and it's a very special, and it's less like individual radios in a house, and it's more like call towers, dragon towers, that serve as announcement centers, warning, alerts, and potentially a radio show eventually for the city, for news and that kind of stuff. So it's a great thing to have and to introduce as a new thing in your world, but we're not going to have anything quite like that. So it would be, your consummate bards on a street corner or at a pub. Now, it's always funny to think about, like, and I don't know if this is a thing. I'm not as well versed into the nitty-gritty of history of entertainment, but in history, did we have, like, podcasts? I know they had, like, people would print books or pamphlets when they had an opinion. Like our forefathers in America would just print pamphlets when they wanted to bitch at each other. That's all they did. So it was basically a podcast. But oh my god, you two really could you... Asher is bullying his brother. Leave your brother alone. You. All right. But like, I guess it would just be people, you know, creating a mob together, kind of. It starts with a couple dudes screaming about how they're mad at something, and then everybody starts screaming. That's probably as close as they got to a podcast. But it would be really funny for a sort of... for alpha male podcast with the Founding Fathers. Dude, you don't even know. Joe Rogan wishes he had what the forefathers had. They would just fucking trash talk each other. I think it was Alexander Hamilton that was that said to Jefferson, basically, there are so many words in the English language, but I could put none of them together to communicate how badly I want to hit you with a chair. And you gotta, I mean, that's fucking brilliant. You gotta love it. Even though our forefathers were largely douchebags. Sit down, John, you fat mother... Alright, I'm not gonna start going off on Hamilton, because I'll go crazy. Nobody wants that. It's a great play if you haven't watched it. So yeah, thinking of... I want that. It's something... Yeah, something like that would exist. I would say in this world writing, like widely available writing, would be a thing. I don't want to mess with a basic book. Hang on. It's getting warm, so I gotta take my hat off. A basic book costing equivalent of $2,500. So I want widely available writing. Whether or not that is because magic helps, you know, your basic scribe write more things. Do we have a printing press or something similar? That's what I was getting to. I was wondering, because we have the gnomish people who are known as the Tinkerers. They work with the dwarves for their veil breaking and study. So it would make sense that the gnomes would invent something that would allow them to take notes quicker, right? So it would be something magic tech. It wouldn't just be, you know, like our printing press and stamps with letters on them, that kind of thing. It would be something more akin to Nubia's quill, for example. It would be an automatic writing type of thing. I want something... It would be fun for the dwarves when they go down into the Vale. If you want an idea with printing, China had a printing presses before. Yes, I know. You know what? The Shaika plate? I know about those only recently because I read a book series, the first two, nature-based replacements, somatic seeds, plant a book, get smaller books. That's adorable. But they're, just because with their language is easier to do than ours. Yeah, I read the first two books in a book series that I absolutely love. I gotta find the rest of them. It's called the Libriomancer series, and it's all about magic that can be cast out of books. The tablet thingies Link has in the Breath of the Wild. Oh, I've never played Breath of the Wild, but it is very pretty. But the Libriomancer series by Jim C. Hines. Look it up if you're into like book history and if you're a book nerd, you will love that series. I absolutely love that series. It's so much fun, and just the idea of magic based on books is super fun to me. That is to say, what I'm thinking of, firstly, magic quills. Magic quills would be used by scribes and monks and things for personal notes, I think. It's a quill that you kind of ally or attune to yourself, and it writes your thoughts or something like that. But I want something that specifically the gnomes and the dwarves use. Something that pushes that tech a little more towards tech and not just magic. Because they are the ones that are going to be skirting that line. So I want something that the dwarves can have on them when they veil break, like in that helmet, that records either their voice. I mean, we could do, you know, old school like wax tablets, but you have to like change them out, and so I need something that's like that. Rita Skeeter Core, yes. Can I just? I mean, I know that bitch is the worst writer person ever, but I love the name Rita Skeeter. That's that's one of the best names of anything in any book that I've ever read. It's just such a great name. It sounds like something a DM would come up with off the cuff, and it was so like, yes. Anyway, so I want, and obviously this would not be widely used outside of the Society of the Veilbreakers. The Veilbreakers and the Veil Scribes would use these things to record and harken back to what was experienced during veil breaking missions. But I want basically like an audio recorder, but not that. So I like the idea of the plant, the somatic seeds for general people. Planting a book and getting smaller books sounds like fun. It does. So I'm thinking books in general. Obviously, it has to be a mechanical bird that sings back the recording. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, we call back to the canaries in miner. What that miners use to make sure that the gases aren't deadly. So it could be a small mechanical bird that like just plays it back for you. That's fun. I like that. But I going back to the plant, like, so more widely used outside of them. A raven, perhaps. I mean, they are already mimickers. You know what? Or, okay, here's an idea. What if, or mockingbirds from Hunger Games, what if every team, okay, I like this. Because, I don't want to push tech too much into that idea. What if every Veilbreaker team that goes down has a Kenku on the team? And their responsibility is to record everything that happens, and they are debriefed at the end where everything that they say or was said or was experienced is written then. Because it still kind of pairs with the whole idea of having a recording, but it's more based upon people rather than just, you know, some metal thing. I love but the Kenku is basically the team's he's not as they're probably treated better than most people. They have to protect them. They need them like more than anything. So they're probably extremely well paid, extremely well protected, well trained to go with them. Canonically, they're also master copiers. Exactly. So they scribe in between, but they can also play back exactly what happened. That is really cool to me. And in my world, I've also done away with that whole like Egyptian scribes. There you go. Yeah. So in my world I've done away with that whole Kenku backstory of they were cursed to live without voices, because I don't like that story. Yeah, it's dumb. I don't know, whatever. But they're just crow people. They're just Corvid people. They're just really good at mimicry, and that's the only way they can talk. That's it. Like, it's if you've ever seen what a crow or a raven can do without lips, like, it's insane. The way they can speak, and just imagine that grown into a humanoid creature. I believe they talk like normal in the next edition. Well, I'm not buying the next edition, so whatever. So I'm just gonna make them mimic like crows do, because I like corvids. Corvids are my favorite birds. They're very cool, and the cooler thing, I think, and like Aarakocra, so if you want to take the Aarakocra and the Kenku, a waka waka waka, nevermore. Say nevermore. They're so cool. If you want to take the Aarakocra and the Kenku and kind of put them together, I think I'm gonna basically make all Aarakocra into corvids. So, but it's your game, you can make them talk. I can, yeah, but I like the mimicry because I like crows, and they're intelligent, and they can still communicate, and it kind of makes it a bit... And it's also a fun... I always include in my worlds, generally, some sort of sign language as well, and that gives me an easy in, just in case you have perhaps a Kenku that doesn't have the experience that they would need to mimic speaking voices. Like, for whatever reason, whether they were insular in a community that was far away from others or whatever, but having sign language kind of bridges that gap, but still makes it, a different way of communicating. I always enjoyed having some sort of sign language in my games, whether because somebody's mute or I love integrating signs into Fantasy World. Yes, I had not too long ago, I had a mute in one of my games. I had a mute. Was he a sorcerer? He was a magic user. I don't know if he was a sorcerer or a wizard. Either way, his whole thing was the fact that his somatic and his verbal components were the same, and they were his signing. And he could give himself subtitles using prestidigitation if somebody didn't know his sign, and therefore it made it easier for them to communicate with him. And I immediately had a player that fell in love with him, which was great. She was just like, I think I named him Big Ben because he was like 6'7". He's a big motherfucker, and she was just like, give me that man. And I was just like, you want the mute? All right, dope. I love him. He was a lot of fun to role play. And again, I don't know full sign. I have like had fits and starts in learning, and I do want to fully learn one of these days. It's probably something I should take up again, but it's such a fucking cool language. I want to one day create a signing character for a campaign to improve my ASL skills. Yeah, absolutely. You'd be more than welcome in my world doing that kind of stuff. But, I know like the basics and stuff like that. I know water and, what everybody starts with. I follow a lot of cool people on Instagram that teach, various signs and stuff. My favorite ones are the ones that they teach you how to curse. It's just like that's useful for me. um anyway, so yeah, just Kenku slash Aarakocra slash whatever the fuck I would call them in this world. They would be, oh, a party of 12. Oh my god. Welcome in, Shropshire. Holy crap, what a raid. Stinks! Oh my god, you're the best. Look at you. Welcome in. Thank you for the raid. That's so many people. Hi, Edwin. Hello, Vincera. Hi, Shropshire. How was your stream? I hope you got some cool stuff done. Were you world building, or were you playing, or what were you doing? Tell me. This is a bad day for such a dope-ass raid. Short and very productive. Good. I used to play D&D with a mute player. Turned out she was also a teacher. Blew my mind, but super cool to play with. Hi, Idea Machines! You made some magical shipwrights. Ooh, that sounds dope as hell. Yeah, we were just talking about some over-water transportation as well. I should consider some ships as well. Boats and things like that. But we were talking about creatures and stuff because I have to make everything in my world adorable in some way. But, oh my god, welcome on in. You guys are awesome. Thank you for the raid. This is a rough day to have a raid with so many cool people. I'm a little low energy because I didn't sleep too well last night, but I still appreciate your time. We do world building and stuff in here. I suggested they come here. Thank you so much, Stinks. I greatly appreciate it. We do world building here for my homebrew world of Galdor, but we also talk about any sort of cool creative things. Yeah, I think we dropped into Shropshire at some point recently, didn't we? I don't remember. Somebody. It's hard to keep track, sorry. But, so yeah, we do world building here. For my world is just the jumping off point, though. We chat about everybody's world, and everybody gives ideas and bounces off each other, so you are all absolutely welcome, and I greatly appreciate your time, and, Galdor, I hardly know her. You know what? You're the first person to make that joke, so I applaud you, my friend. So Razriel has done that. Nobody else gets to make that joke. That's it. Well, everybody gets one. You get one. You got one. But Galdor, and the campaign we call, forgot to mention to you, but our TTRPG group is getting back together soon. Yay! That's exciting. I'll be looking for a bit. Need to finish my meal plan so I can shop. Awesome. Galdor, Mandor. Typical pub bathroom layout. That's very good. But yeah, so, Galdor is a largely cozy, uh, you're good. A largely cozy world that is based upon basically my love of witchy elements with gardening mixed in there. So we live in a tree. The world's a tree. I need to upload that emote. But the world is a tree. It is a flat world, or at least a the top of the tree serves as the place where most people live. Um, it's I don't know if anybody's getting an ad. Please tell me. It's a bonsai tree is my initial kind of look on it. If you want to see the map, one second. Here we go. Oh no, don't do that. Okay, we're getting ads. Okay, that's fine. Alright. That's okay. Say hi. I thank you so much for that follow. Wait, how do the kids do it now? Is it that? No, it's not that. How do you do it now? How do the kids do it? Oh, it's this one. Okay, I see, that's right. I'm so old. I'll do this one. I could do that one. It doesn't fuck with my arthritic hands as bad. Okay, we're back. I was going to ask if there's an adorable little Underdark nestled within the roots of the world. Excellent question. Okay, so let me expand upon the world. So you have the top. That's the overstory. That is the name of our campaign because this is my first campaign back or in this world. So we're focusing on the overstory in this campaign mostly. Underneath that, you have the Evershade. The Evershade is not necessarily the roots, but it is that part of the tree that is like just the branches meeting the trunk and stuff like that. That is our Underdark. So if you imagine the Underdark in traditional D&D fantasy, it is rocky, cave-like structures with bioluminescence, things like that. Same kind of color scheme, but instead of rocks, it is petrified wood, basically. So it's a lot more of our organic shapes and kind of these weaving in and out roads going up and down and through, that kind of thing. So now, and one second. I get all my stuff now. Okay, hang on. I use Notion for my notes, should anybody be interested. Hang on, let me see. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Is it this one? Nope. Where's my... hang on, hang on. Did you keep the prevalent fungi and mosses? Obviously, I love mushrooms. That is a lovely aesthetic for an alternative Underdark. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope so. That's the whole idea. Hang on. Where did I put my fucking thing? Quick spring setting. Hang on, I'll get it. You know, when you forget where you put your notes. Begging your pardon. That's not it. So... oh my god. I really did lose it, didn't I? I'll find it. Is it Celestial? Oh my god. Hang on. I'm so sorry. My brain is not with me today, so I do beg your indulgence in me trying to remember where the hell I put everything. Here we go. Good lord. I'm sorry. It's in my planes tab. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Alright, so, cosmology. We're looking at the cosmology of Galdor, or rather, the universe in which Galdor... Is it in planes? Yes. So, if you zoom out, the celestial realm in Galdor is not your typical space and stuff like that, you know, where the gods have their own little, like, pocket dimensions, basically. What it is a giant garden, where each god in the pantheon has their own plot of land. Each god is allowed to create their own world, plane, within this plot of land, and they have pretty much complete control over it, right? In this world, in this pantheon, Melora, the Wild Mother, the, you know, the nature goddess, she's kind of the, for lack of a better term, the Zeus, or the Odin, the kind of mother goddess, that is kind of not the leader, but they kind of look to her for guidance a lot of the time. She was the one that planted the garden. She planted the tree. The tree, whose name is Galiora, the tree of the cosmos. Imagine this huge weeping willow, and within the branches of this weeping willow are the stars, the sun, and the moons. 2 moons. All of the planes share this sky, right? Okay. Thank you for following, Vincera. So all of the, Oh, I met my follower goal! Oh, I forgot I set that! Oh my god, yeah, I made 60. Hey! Thank you all so much! You say Weeping Willow, I'm freaking there. My favorite tree. Me too! I love Weeping Willow, it's gorgeous. Thank you so much for helping me meet that goal. My goodness. Thank you, Razio! Okay, wow. So, again, wow. I feel so bad that I'm so low energy today, but y'all are helping me, I gotta say. So Galiora is this grand tree holding the stars and the moons and the sun, okay? That is planted within the very center of the garden and overhangs all of the other planes all the other gods are in charge over. Now, for eons and eons, Melora was just in charge of the tree. Her sister, previous name now unknown, but now she goes as the Raven Queen. I love the visual. Willow with cosmic tendrils is dope. Thank you, thank you. I'm very excited about this world. I don't know if you can tell. But, so, the Raven Queen, who at one point in ancient times was known by another name, is Melora's sister. For some reason that has been lost to time, Melora and her sister disagreed, and which led to the Raven Queen becoming such a thing and leaving the garden to start her own area. This is where Galadros, the roots of all things, starts. This is the grave. So somebody needed to tend to the roots just as much as the tree needed tending to, right? What is one of the best fertilizers in the natural world? The dead. The Raven Queen took it upon herself to take upon the mantle of the dead, not only their bodies, but their memories and their souls. She takes care of them, she brings them to any gods that might have claim over their souls, but should no god claim them, she does. And they feed the world, both top and bottom. Right? With the Raven Queen leaving her plot, that was left vacant. So, Melora decided to take that plot of land and make a world where all the gods, as a kind of an experiment, all the gods kind of had little says. They all can kind of share in this experiment. So another tree was planted there. A sapling off of Galiora was planted in this vacant lot, and that became Galdor. So, Though Melora is seen as most people think of strong tree like an oak or something. I think of pliant tree like a weeping willow that whips in the winds, yet is stronger because of it. Agreed. And the wind that goes through the garden itself serves as the movement of the stars and the suns and the moon. The moons, multiple moons, one sun. Hi, Lycan Dragon. Welcome in. Welcome in. We're just, I'm giving my best lowdown of my world. I'm working on the elevator pitch. It's hard. Thank you for the follow, Salusi. I feel so bad for being so low energy today. I'm so sorry. So Galdor grew into this beautiful tree, and now Melora started Galdor as her own kind of thing. While all the gods were still setting up their own planes and their own worlds, she was kind of left to her own devices. The gods weren't really interested at first. So Melora created life. What else are you going to do? Enter the precursor race of Galdor, the Fae. Melora doesn't like thinking about death. She is a goddess of life. She doesn't like to think about it ending. Just considered how reincarnation could be a thing with how you explained how the Raven Queen tends to death feeding life. Could potentially, yes. We should probably build on that. So Melora made the Fae to take care of her tree, Galdor, and she loved them very much. She made them immortal. She didn't want her babies, basically, to die. Of course she didn't. Why would she? But if you have an entirely immortal population who continue to go forth and be fruitful, let's say, that starts to wear on your resources, no matter what god creates them. So the tree began to suffer. And so, from there, Melora had to be convinced by her sister, potentially an argument, and eventually an acceptance was had, where the Fae, not in any cataclysmic kind of death moment where she washed them all away like certain gods we're aware of, but rather she locked them away in the place where they would be safe and couldn't hurt any of her resources. They are in her mind. The Feywild is the dream space of Melora. The Shadowfell is the dream space of the Raven Queen. Both of those planes still exist, but they are outside of the garden, right? So they are all at once those mirrors of their own goddess, but also of the material plane as they are meant to be. They're kind of outlooks on how they should be, quote unquote, if you will. So, second time around, the gods kind of all came together, including the Raven Queen and the Dark Mirrors, which I will get to in a moment. There's a main pantheon, the light, quote-unquote, light pantheon, and the dark pantheon, which are direct mirrors to every god on the underside in Galadros, the grave. So, from there, all the gods kind of came together and made some agreements. The various races of the world, creatures and humanoids alike, sentient and non-sentient, if you will, all of them in one way or another were put there by a god. Not all of them are Meloras, not all of them are any of the gods. They're all kind of jointly agreed upon, and so all the gods came together and made this tree, this place, a home for anything and anyone. And so now Galdor exists as a beautiful, verdant place, but an accepting, divergent, insanely, not overgrown, but it's almost idyllic, right? And I know everybody doesn't like the word idyllic. This is a noble bright setting, if you know the terminology. The opposite of grim dark is noble bright. So everything in this is based upon Stardew Valley, a little bit of Minecraft, your general cozy games, fun stuff like that, because I needed something like that in my life. I understand a good dramatic game can be a service to the mind and to the player, but I needed to run something a little bit more cozy. So I have made this. Now the Hells still does exist, but the Hells in this world are not quite the curse or the punishment that they have been known in other settings. The Hells are the in-between. The Hells are for people that deny the gods. Not deny the gods' existence. You can't really do that in the world where clerics and things kind of prove. This is Thumbs, by the way, should anybody be curious. Anybody new, this is one of my two cats, Thumbs, and, well, he's not going to show his thumbs off right now, but he does have his namesake on his big pawsies. Anyway, so the Hells are a place where people that have no faith in the gods, or have lost faith in the gods, go. And not because they're punished, but if you go to the Hells, it's because you chose to be there. The Hells are a place for rebels, and little else. So, anybody that felt unimpressed by what the gods could give them, they decided to believe in themselves over all things. And the Hells is kind of a cool, annoying to both sets of gods place that kind of push the boundaries of what it means to be an immortal soul, if you will. Now, shrinking back down to Galdor itself, Galdor also has kind of an in-between place. And that's on atheism, yes, exactly. The in-between, the Overstory and the Evershade, so our, material plane and then our Underdark, more or less. There's a place called the Vale. That is it's at the bottom of the oceans, and it's kind of, if you imagine, a little bit of Pacific Rim, a little bit of, Godzilla vs. Kong, you know how they had the Hollow Earth there in the middle? Imagine if those two things kind of came together and made their own kind of middle space, right? So, the Vale is where the veil between worlds is very thin. So, that place is known for spontaneously popping up portals to other planes. That's basically... Are they front dew claws or is he polydactyl? Oh, he's polydactyl. He's a Hemingway cat, if you know. Yes, he's got big old thumbs. I will show them off eventually. I can, if you want to join over in the Discord if you haven't already, please do, and I will happily post pictures of my boys for everybody to enjoy. Where did I leave off? Oh, right. The Vale is where the veil is thinnest, and basically that's where portals open up to other planes, and that's where gods can introduce their little experiments or their ideas, basically. So it's a kind of an open kind of shunting of energy, which can also go the other way. Sometimes people might find themselves going to another plane spontaneously if they visit the Vale too often. So yeah, that is a very long explanation. I know it's hard to kind of describe a world in a very short time. I'm working on it though. I have visuals now, so that's helpful. But should you have any questions or ideas for that matter, please, please, please do not hesitate to put them in chat. I absolutely love bouncing ideas off. It's why I created this stream. World's a tree. The end. Yes, that's our battle cry in this chat. It's world's a tree. Better than me, baby. Yeah, that was a stream. If anybody who doesn't know, Anima Raptor 22 is my husband. He is currently at work, but he is supporting me from afar, and I appreciate it very, very much. All right. So, that was fun. So yeah, if you have any ideas or questions in regards to Galdor or world building in general or something, or prompts that you want me to answer, that's what I was going to right before we got raided, and I was shocked. So yeah, we got our general kind of idea of Galdor out, at least. So hopefully I explained it well. And we were just kind of talking about... I was just going through this list of prompts. I've been collecting as many world building prompts and stuff that I possibly could for days like this when I'm a little bit low energy and the ideas aren't forthcoming as they normally would. In the interest of knowing the vibe of this world, I did say it is a cozy. By the way, I have done some heavy work on the Aphoriths since I last shared, if you haven't seen. Ooh, yay, I will check that out later. Definitely. I love them so much. I've got to put them in my game. I gotta, make a page for them and stuff. So yeah, this world and thus my mechanics and how I'm take a note on the reincarnation things. It likes compromise for Melora and the Raven Queen. Yeah, I definitely will. And should any of you wish to check out the past videos for background noise or whatever, of how we basically built this place from the ground up, you can check out the VODs there. Please feel free to sub and check them out and let me know what you think as you go by. I know it's a time sink, so feel free to just have them on as background noise. But yeah, I'm happy to see all my new followers. Thank you so much for hanging out and for the raid. It's very cool. And we gotta support each other, man, you know? It's hard out there. It's hard to be discovered on Twitch right now in any organic way, you know? So raids like this help immensely, and I hope to pay it forward later in the stream. In regards to the cozy, what cozy means to me, as far as setting and general vibe of the world, we are doing away in this game with a lot of the race-based assumptions and any of the prejudiced kind of ideas, you know, just your general, like, orcs are all stupid, or, you know, elves are all hippy-dippy loser, whatever the hell. Whatever fantasy racism exists in other places does not exist in this world, and that includes tieflings. Tieflings are seen as not devil blood, or whatever the hell they're normally called elsewhere. It's just because I wanted to challenge myself as a DM to look for dramatic components that aren't used often enough. You know, family drama is a huge one, and it doesn't have to do anything with race, and it doesn't have to do with gender or sexuality. So those three things that are generally used as prejudice in stories or in the real world, as we all know, they're not used in Galdor. I am challenging myself, and it can be a challenge sometimes. Like, those things are the easy things because they exist in the real world, and we have more basis to compare and tell that story. But I don't need to tell that story. I have told that story at my table at times, and it can be a good story told, and it's an important story. But Galdor is leaving that behind, at least for now. Perhaps something happens that shakes the world later, and some of that stuff becomes a problem again, but I certainly do not plan on that. But we will see. So this world in this game focuses a lot more on personal responsibility and personal, that family drama sounds different than mine, yeah. It's, you know, like, for instance, I have a family of halflings in my kind of starting town of Quickspring who were ousted from their family because they had a son who was a sorcerer. He was born with magic abilities, and that scared the family, and so they wanted to force these parents to ignore the fact that their son had these abilities and to kind of bury it and let it, you know, let it not be. Let it not be a problem, basically, by ignoring it. When they refused and started to help their child learn these abilities and learn to control and how to use them, they were ousted from their family because they were seen as too dangerous. That's That's not race-based, that's not gender-based, that's not sexuality-based. That's something in this world that makes sense and is frankly much more interesting, if you ask me, at least in a fantasy world. It's much more interesting to write for, I will say that much. So, parents from X-Men, have you tried not being a mutant? Exactly that. Same kind of thing, even though that was an allegory for being gay, but still, it is kind of the same thing. And it's the same kind of drama, but it still hurts, of course, but it's looking at it from another angle, and it's not it's less, I don't know. I don't know how else to say it, but for reference. And if you make suggestions, because this is a Noble Bright campaign, if you make suggestions that are a little bit on the darker side, as we go through and I look at ideas and I bounce things off of you guys in chat, please, please, please do not be offended if I don't take your suggestion. I will explain why, and it's because it doesn't fit my idea of the world or, the Noble Bright setting, but do not be offended because I guarantee you it's a great idea no matter what, but it doesn't fit in my world. So please, anybody and feel free to keep talking about it, because I'm not shutting you down, I'm just saying why I'm not using it in my world. Are you gonna come up here, or are you just gonna sit there and beg for food? My cat's asking for food. No, not right now. Anyway, so I love that Bobby was confirmed gay in the comics. Yes, amazing. So good. So yeah, I was looking for ideas, and you guys got me, kind of back on that track, which I appreciate. It lets you focus again. No fantasy racism in my cozy campaign. Exactly that. There's also no, not no necessarily, but much less income inequality in this world. There are nobility, their nobles exist, but nobles only exist if they properly serve their community. So you don't continue to get payouts by the government if you don't do anything. Proven. And there's no fucking bullshit tax loopholes or anything like that. You actually have to prove that you're helping your community. And that goes into various things. Eventually, I will create some sort of website for everything that I've created for Galdor, so people can look back and reference it, so I don't have to do this every time. But that's kind of a long way off, because I got to figure out how best to do that. For right now, it's just my personal notes and the stream. So, like I said, feel free to check out the VODs over on the YouTube, and that will fill in some things. The holidays are my favorite part so far of world building. That was a lot of fun, which we will get to too. Yes. Yes, that's a very cute emote too. So, I think we're gonna end up going to a ad in about a minute and a half. So, if you have any questions in regards to my world building, or the world itself, or anything else, please let me know. And I will happily talk about my world. Also, the queen is actually God chosen in this world. Queen Caspia is the last fae left in this world, and she's she's immortal. She's an immortal queen. And she is a good queen, and there are, not underlings, but there are, the cast, for lack of a better term, the people below her are representatives of each places. So do the races not have any distinct traits, or do they vary enough that it doesn't generate any stereotypes? Yes, they have distinct traits, certainly. I mean, dwarves are still dwarves, halflings are still halflings, everybody's still halfling, or still their whatever race that is. But we have a quarterling in our group. Are there positive stereotypes? That's an excellent question. I was actually, I was approaching that because when I was looking over races, I wanted to look at dwarves. Because if you know anything about the dwarves and Tolkien fantasy, they were based on harmful stereotypes of a particular race of people. I don't need to go into who and why. You probably know if you don't look it up. Anyway. which Tolkien eventually apologized later for. So, slightly better. What are you going to do? So I wanted to take dwarves and make them better. I didn't want them just to be the insular people that stay in the mountain and collect money, and that's all they do. I want all races to have a purpose in society. So, what dwarves are now, dwarves are known as, I wanted to take the underground living idea and kind of flip that on its head. Dwarves go into the Vale on purpose to study what comes out of those portals that randomly open up. They are known as Veil Breakers. So dwarves will dress up in these crazy suits, which are, your old school diving bell, like, the circular bubble helmet kind of suits. And they will dive into the ocean, which is where, you'll eventually break through to the Vale. And then they will, kind of like how people would, like in Stranger Things, would go into the Upside Down and study what's in there. That kind of thing, except you don't always die when you're on the other side. So they collect things that, guess you could say they pierce the veil. Exactly that. They are the Veil Breakers, and then the other side of that, when they come back... Oh, add. Okay, add. Alright, are we back? Okay. So, as I was saying, the dwarves dive down, collect samples, study what's on the other side, and then they come back up with those samples. We were talking about Kenku earlier being part of their team, so they can record audio, basically, and then eventually scribe down what they experience. And then they come back up, and they give those... Do dwarves still grow notable amounts of facial hair? Interesting question. Yes and no. Women, generally, that are not veil breakers, will definitely... They look at voluminous beards as voluminous hair. It's all kind of the same thing. Societally. Culturally, I should say. So... Most of the ones that actually go down and go into veil breakers will have short beards, because you can't fit it in the helmet. So it's kind of the opposite, strangely, than, the dwarf with the longest, most awesome beard is the leader, or the bravest, or whatever. It's the opposite. If you have a short beard, it's probably generally fashionable to do so. But women, though they can be veil breakers as well, women kind of look at it as a form of beauty. So, yeah, both men and women can have beards, but it is up to... profession as well as personal style choice. So, yeah. So yeah, and then they bring their findings back up to the Vale scribes, who are in charge of breaking everything down, writing everything down that they find, studying further, that kind of stuff, cross comparing other notes from other explorations, that kind of thing. So dwarves might have a stereotype attributed to them, but like previously said, it's a positive stereotype where it's like, those motherfuckers are crazy, but they're looked at like astronauts, where it's like, astronauts are a little fucking crazy, if you ask me, to shoot yourself into space. But they're fucking geniuses, and they're necessary for understanding the wider universe. So most Veil Breakers certainly, and they're not just dwarves that are Veil Breakers, it's not based on race, it's just the dwarves were the first ones to do it because they lived underground. And they were the first ones to kind of find what that meant. I have to say I disagree with the idea that Tolkien's dwarves were a problematic representation. But it is problematic shorthand that some use negatively. As far as I understand, it was, as far as I've read, and maybe I misread it, but it was eventually, it was certainly not something Tolkien saw as problematic at the time. Because it was based, from what I remember, a friend of his, who was of a certain group of people, and certainly Tolkien did not look at it that way, and I understand why he didn't, but, and certainly there are other writers, J.K. Rowling, that are much more problematic in their, showing of certain races in certain ways. So, all I know is that eventually Tolkien did go, okay, I see what you're talking about, and it was not his intention, but I can see how people looked at it that way. So, dwarves in Tolkien's books were seen as a problematic representation of the Jewish people, in that they were insular and they only cared about money and that kind of problem. Now, again, it's probably something that came from other people, like Razriel said, looking at it and saying it was negative or whatever. But all I know, so some racist made connection, got it. Yeah, so again, that was not Tolkien's whole plan. He did not intend for that, and I believe that 1000%, but later on he did, I believe, I've read that he did eventually say, I can understand why people would see that. That was not my intention. I'm not a terrible racist. I'm a good person. You know, more or less. Although Tolkien was kind of an asshole in his way, but what are you going to do? But he was not a racist, I will say that. So that's what I'm saying. But I still wanted to move away from the classic dwarves. You know, I didn't want just, you know, mountain people that hang out and whatever. I wanted something different for this world. So, can we see the cat? Oh, yes, of course. Come here. Come here. Are you going to behave? Come here. Oh my god, he's so big. Hang on, let me get to my big camera here. There we go. This is Thumbs. I don't know how well you can see his polydactyl thumbs, but they are big, big old thumbs. Can you look at the camera? You're so cute. You got such a good face. There he is. That's my boy. He is a chunk. He's our big boy. Oh, you're being good. Okay, thank you. Okay. There you go. Alright, go on. I'll feed you in a little bit. Tolkien was a jerk, but he was a jerk with standards. Bigotry was against those standards. Exactly, yes. Again, it was not... I'm not saying Tolkien meant to do any of those problematic things, but I also understand the people that looked at it and went, have we considered, you know? But, meanwhile, J.K. Rowling did it on purpose. Yeah, he's a big cat. He is a chunker. But he has no teeth, so, you know, what are you gonna do? So yeah, in no way am I saying that Tolkien was problematic. At least not in regards to racism. Never, I would never say that, so. There are other authors currently with too much money. Dwarf words are Semitic, but his dwarves were not just those things. They were much more noble and stalwart with deep family bonds and many other positive qualities. Exactly. But, so yeah, thank you, Razriel, for pointing that out and allowing me to explain myself further. I never want anybody to think I'm saying that Tolkien was a terrible racist, because he was not. That is not true. It's just some of his writing to the right crowds came across that way, and that is not his doing and is not his fault. Happens a lot, unfortunately. But yeah, so I definitely, again, a challenge to myself as a GM. I want to move away from classic understandings of these races. I'm still working on that. I will admit. Dwarves are the most solid idea that I have right now in how I've pushed away from the old understandings of the race. Halflings. I admit, halflings are pretty much hobbits, from Lord of the Rings, just because I felt that their race fit into this world of Galdor. Imagine the entire world is the Shire, basically, kind of societally at least, but more accepting of people outside of, whatever. But I've kept halflings largely the same, and I need to kind of look at that, and I understand that. I came with interesting take on dwarves. They believe that the longevity is due to constant physical training and injuries, as scars are more durable than skin. They believe that an active dwarf in combat lives a longer life. That's dope. I love that. Big fucking jacked, like, awesome dwarves. It's all good. I just know how polarizing things can be and prefer to talk about the nuances of things. Absolutely, and that's very important. The gray areas are what, shade life and make it pop, if you ask me. But yeah, so halflings are kind of basic right now. But there's also like half races and not just half elf or half orc. I have a quarterling currently in my campaign. She's half halfling. So she's about 5 foot tall, but she's short for, 'cause her dad is a human. So, so there's a lot more possibilities in how people are represented. There's half tieflings, which is still one of my favorite ideas, where they don't just look like a tiefling. There's a couple artists out there that have taken half races, half race ideas. Let me see if I can bring one up. And changed them depending on what, like, if it's half tiefling and half of another race, it's a lot more interesting looking. Of course, we know that active people are healthier and so on. Also, gnomes have similar belief that about their hands, that they need to be constantly working, and when gnome stops his hands for a long time, he dies. Of course, an aging gnome becomes less dexterous, so it just changes what is the consequence. I'm a big fan of Tolkien, but do not believe he was a perfect man, but that he tried to be a good man in his time. Yes, I think most people try to be good people. It's just sometimes it doesn't come across. I don't know if I've gone over this, but my take on orcs is rather cool, I think. I think you have? I don't remember. Tell me again, because I don't remember. Here. Yeah, for instance, I think... Yeah, she's an orc and a tiefling mixed together. And you can tell how that differs from your typical tiefling, because usually if you have tiefling blood, you're just a tiefling. I prefer having a little bit more nuance, like we were talking about. Star-worshipping tribal tinkerers. Yes! Yes. There we go. My lips are assholes who see humans to be about the same level of intelligence as dogs, and since they live for a few decades, are not that important. Yeah, see, that's the other thing that I'm avoiding with my elves, personally. As easy as it is, again, for elves to kind of look down on people, and elves are kind of... they're like Melora's race, because they're like Fey light, basically. So they could easily look at themselves as better, but I'm, again, moving away from that, and I see elves as kind of hippy-dippy-ish, kind of like the wood elves if we're going with Tolkien. They were a lot more accepting, why? Why what? Why am I moving away from elves in the classic sense? Which part? Elves live for centuries or unlimited time. Well, in my game, yes, they are long-lived, but I look at this world as a more helpful world, and people are more helpful. So I would think elves see themselves as responsible for the shorter. Why hippies? Because I think they're like a forest-based race. Not necessarily like, whoa, man, don't fight. It's more like wood elves living in the woods and in a communal kind of society. Again, I haven't sat down and gotten every race figured out fully in my world, but that's my initial kind of outlook on them, in that they're more caring than the elves that kind of look at humans and go, ugh, like dogs. We as humans grew up from being hippies in 10 to 20 years. That is like a blink of an eye. Correct, but imagine if we were better than that. What if we didn't get tired of being good people? I like the idea of elves feeling a greater responsibility to the world due to their longevity. Yeah, that's the direction I'm going with. Anyway, I gotta sit down and write it, like I said, and kind of figure out all the details. Um, but yes, it is a blink of an eye for an elf, but it could also be seen as a good idea. How do you characterize the responsibility? Well, it would, like most places in Galdor, it would be a responsibility of self, a responsibility of environment, and a responsibility to your fellow man. So passing down knowledge, teaching, whether it be magic or skills or any number of things, whatever you have to teach, it is freely given, generally speaking. Uh, any skill like that. What they would kill humans as humans. Nobody pollutes in this world. That's not a thing. A long view of history that wants to see a positive trajectory throughout their lives. Yes. Um, yeah, this is, again, Galdor is not like our world. People don't pollute. We don't have microplastics in this world. People use the bounty of nature beyond what even we could understand. And it is... No, I know, but I'm saying pollution doesn't really happen. Elves in my world are extinct because they created a magical nuke that caused the apocalypse. That'll do it. Elven spirits still remain, though. Oh, I like that idea. And they teach those who listen the mistakes of the old world so they don't happen again, and the new world may be better and more hopeful. That's beautiful. I love that. See? Yeah, that's great. Um, but yeah, elves, again, there's not a lot of places that are, uh, no runoff form foundries or making metal, no shit in rivers, and so on. Not in any way that harms the world. Magic. It's, metal is used, but in small form. A lot of the, weapons and stuff in this world are actually made of what is called ironwood, which is the petrified wood that is found. Oh, magic, got it. Yeah, this is extremely high magic, like I said, noble, bright campaign. Now, bad things happen, and we'll get to that. That's other things as we go, and again, spoilers and stuff I will talk about later as we go through the campaign. Um, but, fun fact, Europeans used to burn forests down to make place for fields, same as Indians. Yeah. Or just responsible production without the drive of capitalism. Exactly. This is not a capitalist society. There are animals that get rid of these things through magical kind of weird means or some sort such thing. Or perhaps the elves figured out how to use the runoff from foundries. So is everyone almost starving? No, of course not. Like I said, nature is bountiful. I don't know if I'm making it understood what noble bright means. There are no systematic, currently, issues in society in this world. I guess that's how I could say it. If you're talking about farms and stuff, and why is there no farming? There is, but it's responsible farming, always dealt with by a druid. Yeah. At least one druid, if not more. So, fantasy, solar punk, hope punk. Yeah, druid-based farming. So imagine like crops way bigger than they normally would, so you don't need as much land. Or, now I get it, yeah. Or forests that are food forests. That kind of thing. So, yeah. So magic is highly used in this world to make sure that the systematic issues that we worry about in our world... I was a bit... Yeah. There are definitely farms, but they're gonna look a lot different than what we look at as farms. They work with the land rather than against it. Noble Bright is the complete opposite of Grim Dark. Hope is plentiful, heroes are many. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Stinks. So why not go a step further and go for magical aquaponics? That's probably a thing somewhere as well. Absolutely. That's magical hydroponics, yeah. Those, I mean, that probably exists in places. Again, I've only just started this campaign, so we haven't gotten able to kind of bridge every single gap, but, you know, I mean, I imagine, like, you know, Babylon hanging gardens. There are tons of natural farming practices that aren't destructive either. Exactly that. Yep. So, again, this is going to require a lot of research and thought and understanding on my part, and I understand that. I get that. But I want my players in this campaign to deal with problems that they wouldn't have to deal with in this world, you know? And even though, or if they do, it's something a little bit more personal than, you know, pollution or that kind of thing. So yeah. So just imagine, you know, bright, sunny, yay, happy. Most people are chill. There are pockets of assholes, because, you know, you're not going to get away from that societally. But they're largely either... They're not necessarily... they're not cold or anything, or cut down, but a lot of people kind of lead them to their own devices, and then they eventually kind of just taper off eventually, because people miss the benefits of society. Great idea, though. Maybe all water towards the center is fresh and the seas are salty. Since there's so much dang water. Yeah, she's a plant mom who sometimes overwaters her baby. We could absolutely do that. I can definitely see Melora as being overly caring plant parent, like me. I can do that, too. I have done that. She doesn't understand desert plants quite yet. But yeah, thank you for those questions. I'm glad I could make my setting a little bit more understood. And yeah, there are issues caused interpersonally rather than systematically. Exactly. Thank you. See, people are better at words than me. But yeah, so that's where I'm going at, and again, it is a challenge. I'm not saying it's not. I'm not saying it's going to be easy for me or the players to kind of understand. You can see now that I'm having difficulty explaining everything because I have only known this world as we live in it on Earth, you know, and the terrible things we have to deal with. So trying to shift your outlook and try to imagine a world without all of these problems is really hard. I'm asking since great places for farming are not forests. For example, in my world, there are places with flooding, irrigation, and fertilization, but at the cost of wood being premium and needs to be imported. That's out, yeah. No, I mean, on Earth, yes, but on Galdor, food forests. Again, druids. Druids exist. Magical creatures exist, gods exist. Melora's going to give her baby, her tree, her people, pretty much anything that they need. Potentially to a fault. She can be a little bit too nice at times and maybe give too much, which can... Agroforests are a thing, yep. In our world. Not only druids exist, but also are fine with cutting down trees to make houses. Or growing trees in the shape of houses. That's my kind of outlook on it. You know, you got the hobbit holes, you've got the dwarves that kind of cut into mountains, and then you've got druids and various other people that grow giant redwood trees with these beautiful root forms that form a whole house by themselves. But that is still a capitalist mindset. Why wouldn't these resources be shared freely? Yes. This is a very sharing world. And magic and knowledge is shared very freely in comparison to our world and other fantasy worlds. But no, these questions do help me. I will say that. So please continue to ask. I don't mind answering them. It makes me think, and I should be thinking. Because sharing freely works great until people realize they do not need to work and just be cared for. Ye no, disagree. People will find something to do with themselves. In this world, art and writing and community service and things are kind of customary. That is the only problem with capitalism. Yeah, it's only a problem with capitalism. Yes, exactly. So people are cared for, but it has been studied over and over again in this world that even with universal basic income, for example, in a community you can just be cared for. Yeah, people are going to want to involve themselves in their community, especially one that cares for them. I don't think people like to know that they're generally slouching on others. Um, in my experience, certainly. So that's how community is built, is making sure nobody is left behind. And that's how it works here. Depends on food per person, which can be grown. If you have druids, you just outsourced your work to them. Druids do it because they love that. Druids don't do it. Druids aren't the only one that do it. They advise. Perhaps there are traveling druids that check up on various places and things like that. But they teach. People like to feel useful, yes. So, yeah, druids enjoy and not feel like a burden. Yeah, unless, God forbid, there's something wrong, with you bodily or something like that. But even then, people generally find a way to give to their community. Certainly in Galdor. Whether or not it's true in this world, I believe there are studies that have been done that show that people want to help and want to not just, lay around, because that sounds miserable. If anybody has ever dealt with that kind of thing, whether through depression or chronic pain or something like that, any number of things that could cause you not to be able to leave your bed, it is the single most terrible experience. Humans, I believe, and sentient beings, if you want to talk about Galdor, want to create. They want to connect. We are a social species. And with that comes the understanding that social social activities are generally helpful ones in some way or another, or at least connective ones. And connectivity brings understanding, and understanding brings help. So I think I'm no fucking social studies, researcher or anything, but in my understanding, in my limited understanding, in my I guess more positive outlook on the world, I think humans and sentient people are good. That's the bare that's the baseline of Noble Bright. Do you know Calhoun's Rodent Utopia? Is that a book or is that some study that has been done? Because it sounds like it could be either of those things. By ethologist Calhoun, collapse that can result from overpopulation. I'm seeing it now. Communities care for their sick, elderly, and infirm. That is historically represented. Also true. I'm looking at that here. Yes, and it looks like it's based off of overpopulation, which is not a problem in this world. Halflings in my world are more like the gnomes and dwarves of other worlds, just with hospitality and luck of halflings. They're fey humanoids who dwell underground in chaotic tunnels, and they're culturally really good at stonemasonry. Interesting. They love to share their work with the world, so they travel to the surface often to trade their stonecraft for surface items. They also live in closely knit clans led by shaman. Yay! I love that! That's very cool. But yeah, overpopulation is not a problem in this world because, and I have an explanation for this, well, at least a base explanation mechanically and narratively, not necessarily narratively, but in this world, if you are a person that is with the opposite sex, unless you want to get pregnant, you don't. Because I don't want to deal, I don't want to deal with that. I don't want my characters to deal with that. I don't want my players to have to think about that. I'm not going to think about it. So if you don't want to get pregnant, if you don't want to have kids, you don't. Magic. Melora doesn't want children to be unwanted, so she would stop anything like that from happening. So that's your base kind of thing. I guess fetus deletion. That is a thing we see in our world also, yes. Well, I mean biologically. You just don't. Basically, people need to take care of fertility drug. No, it's more God. It's more, like, you know how we have historical representation of fertility rites and stuff? If you want to have a baby, it's kind of the opposite, where, like, it is a thing. Yeah, no, I gotcha. But if you want to get pregnant, you have to do a fertility rite, basically. You have to prove it, you know, kind of thing. I think there's a race of aliens in Mass Effect that can do that. Why not? Oh, okay. I've never played Mass Effect. I know a little bit about it, but I've never played it. So that's cool. Yeah, I love that. Our populations are getting older because of that. Yep. So, but this is a little bit more specific too. And that could be another role for the elves to fill. The blue ones. Oh, okay. Alright, gotcha. That could be another thing that elves fulfill, is they care for the elderly. Because they relate to them more than the young of any shorter-lived race. Which would be fun. That is some bright, hopeful design. True bodily autonomy. Yeah, exactly. The more our needs are being met, the less we feel that we need to make more offspring. Yep. Also, you have people who pop children every year. Many who just do not want the responsibility to care for children. Yep. Alright. I've got to find somebody to raid. I've got to get ready for the gym, so give me 2 seconds. Who do we got? Who's going? Hang on. Anybody know anybody that's streaming right now that could use a raid? I'll be happy to do so. Which means if you have some genetics, you will cultivate people who want to breed. Let's see. Oh, Evandale's going! Okay. I know who are raiding. Alright, give me 2 seconds. Let me pause my music here. We're gonna go ahead. I'm gonna do Evandale because they're super cool. If you haven't checked them out, they have a very, very cool community over there. They help with the TTRPG Collective, which is a great collective of people. Evandale. Make sure I spelled it right. Evandale. Yeah, I did. Okay. So they're super cool. We're going to go ahead and raid them. I got to go get ready for the gym. So thank you again for all your questions and helping me think of my world in a more three-dimensional way. We will stream again on Wednesday, same time, 12 Eastern. And thank you all so much for hanging out. Thank you for the raid again. And that was DM Shropshire. Thank you. And yeah, I hope to see you guys on Wednesday. We'll do a little bit more world building, and if there's anything you want to see on the stream, feel free to check out the Discord and let me know. Yeah, so have a wonderful day. Don't forget to drink your water. Go play Pretend. It's good for you. And I'll see you guys Wednesday. Thank you so much. And hopefully I can do this. Have a good day. All right. Getting ready to raid. Here we go. Here we go. Bye.
Oh my God! Wow, Little Apple Blossom is yet another world builder. Routinely going raid, routinely going raid. Little Apple Blossom, what is doing? Hold up. How's world building going over on your side of things? Yes, hello, Eekster. Hi. Yeah. Hello. Oh, this is fun. Great. Awesome. Yeah. Little Apple Blossom is yet another one, if you, another world creator where First off, cozy, friendly, just completely inclusive, just an amazing human. Little Apple Blossom and I have just been kind of we kind of visit each other's channel every now and then, and sometimes we raid into each other, and it's awesome. Lots of great questions today. They got me thinking about how to run my noble bright ideas to keep them interesting. Yes, that is exactly